Welcome back to How to Hit a Man. I'm BurningDogFace, and last time I completed the Chasing a Ghost mission in Mumbai. And then I watched this cutscene, which is entitled Homecoming. And for Justin's sake, it takes place in Brasov, Romania.
According to records, this was a youth correctional facility until 1962, when the estate was overtaken by an obscure Soviet research fund, the Institute for Human Betterment.
Looks deserted.
The place was abandoned after a fire in '89. Then, only a few weeks ago, it was acquired by an anonymous investor using cryptocurrency. It has to be Lucas Gray.
He's here.
Be careful, 47. The breadcrumbs are almost too easy to follow. It could be a trap.
Not a trap. An invitation.
You came home. I knew you would. You've come a long way, 47. And even now, you don't remember.
This place.
This was our prison, where Father trained us, shaped us into killers for Providence. Now, you don't remember. They ripped it out of you, wiped it away, but I do. I remember everything.
You're a terrorist with nothing to lose. You'd say anything.
I know, it's difficult. You never miss your mark or question your function, but we made a pact. You and I. Do this, and we both lose.
There was an incident. That boy, he died.
He lived. Because of you. Don't you remember his name? You know this. Deep down, you know. What was his name?
Subject 6. Your name is Subject 6.
And what is our purpose?
To take them all down.
Well, that was rather heavy. Subject 6 and Subject 47. Together at last. Goddamn. There were a bunch of flashbacks in there, Justin. The most significant one was when 47 said that Gray would make up any story to survive in the situation, and Gray responded by pulling wallpaper off the wall to reveal 2 left handprints. And suddenly 47 was seeing 2 young, bald boys putting those marks on the walls and then holding hands. Lucas Gray really was like a brother to him. I don't know what to make of any of that. Thought he had to be working some kind of angle. And they're saying that Ortmeyer was working for Providence all along. The original game, Codename 47, just depicted him as basically being a maniac. Like a mad scientist. So they're saying that everything that's ever happened in the series has all been connected. Holy shit! This is big, and I kind of want to see where we go from here, because are we working with Gray now? What does Diana think of any of this? Huh. Shout out to Elthwar, who says, I doubt that the Delgado cartel cares too much about the shaman, but considering how many locals care, they will need him to perform the right rituals to avoid upsetting and making the public nervous. If everyone in the town starts believing the spirits are cursing them, productivity and security will drop. And then notes that I suspect that the purple flowers are intended as a way to get the shaman isolated by poisoning the pot. Whether he leaves to the outhouse or all the guests do, I'm not certain. And Justin Jones adds, shout out, Kelly and I would be in hell if we had to spend overly long in a jungle, what with all that heat and humidity. I'd rather be cold than hot. I mean, word, but that you probably assumed that because I'm Canadian. And then with timestamp, to answer the question posed if Andrea and Hector will ever be together again, no, not if Agent 47 has anything to say about it. Oh boy. Well, let's see what happens when I hit to continue the story with Another Life. Long shot. Berlin, Germany.
We were going to tear it all down. The Institute, Providence, everyone who'd ever hurt us. We failed. The partners grew paranoid, made sure that Ortmeyer's children would never challenge them again.
Diana's here.
I'm the only one who got away unchanged. The only one left who remembers.
Ortmeyer was Providence.
Everything he did to us, everything he made us do, it all leads back to them.
I'm breaking more rules than I care to count, Mr. Gray. What's your play?
The partners hide behind a cloak of anonymity. Only one man knows their true identities. Your client, the top controller, the one they call the Constant. He is the key.
But he is untraceable. So what am I missing?
A man would come to the Institute. A man with a Providence pin. The first Constant. If we find him, if he's still alive, he's our way in.
You don't know who he is, but 47 does. That's what this reunion is all about.
Show them.
You're just gonna hand it over. Our one bargaining chip.
Olivia.
Fine. 47's memory was erased, irreversibly at the time. But after Ortmeyer's death, his estate was acquired by the Ether Corporation. And they made an antidote.
47 seems unmoved.
It's a long shot, I know.
This is not how it works. We don't just join the revolution. ICA is neutral. We don't take sides.
I hate to break it to you, lady, but neutrality is a side. It's the side of the status quo.
People have died. Civilians. You align yourself with terrorists, murderers.
Sometimes even monsters serve a purpose.
Look.
Enough. You have a choice. But I made mine a long time ago. I will finish what I started.
That was to Diana. Damn. Romania site abandoned, Lucas Gray location unknown. It's a text. Oh, that was Diana lying. This is 47 getting injected.
Subject 47. Most gifted of all my boys.
Ortmeyer.
So you're the pick of the litter. Tell me about the incident. The subject ran away. He and another boy. The instigator was punished accordingly. As were all the neighbors. My men did what needed to be done. It won't happen again. bring your house in order, Doctor. You won't like the alternative.
I remember who he is.
Oh man. The other man was identified as Janus, or Janus. I don't remember. I don't know how it's pronounced. And that's very strange, given that that's a Roman god. I've mentioned him before. He was the guardian of the gateway to Mount Olympus. You know, the path that leads all the way up to the top where the gods live, specifically. He's a god of entryways, transitions, and doorways. And the reason for that is the guy has two faces, one on the front of his head, one on the back, which means he has 360-degree field of vision, and it is impossible to sneak up on him. And because he's the the god of transitions, he was associated with the transition from the old year to the new year, which is how we ended up with the first month of the year being named after him, January. Fun fact. I should also mention, for Justin's sake, that 47 didn't like anything that he heard there. It seems like 6 and 47 escaped from the Institute, made it as far as the nearest civilians, and then after they got taken in, Ortmeyer's men showed up and killed everyone except the boys. There were a bunch of bodies under tarps. I should also mention that when he heard these things he didn't like, 47 punched Janus so hard that the Providence pin fell out, and then Janus grabbed him by the throat and strangled him for a bit. What a piece of shit. I guess now we're going for another life in Whittleton Creek. What?
Gentlemen, let's go over the plan. The first constant is none other than Janus, the legendary Cold War spy.
Oh, shit.
A KGB senior officer and head of the 6th Column Special Branch at Lubyanka, Janus is a certified genius and expert of counterintelligence. He retired from the KGB in 1988 when he fell out of favor with the Kremlin and defected to the US. Shortly after, the Soviet Union collapsed. Now, it is unclear when Janus stepped down as the constant, but since 2004, he has been a resident of a quiet community in suburban Vermont. Mr. Gray.
Right. So here's the catch. As an elite KGB agent, Janus was trained to withstand interrogation and torture. No amount of pressure will force him to disclose information he doesn't want to. Instead, we will need to search his home for clues. But if Providence learns of our presence, the game is up.
So we frame Janus, make Providence think he was the real Shattered Plant.
Correct. I will file a false ICA report, claiming to have traced a number of calls from Janus's house to the Institute in Romania. The case will seem clear. Mr. Gray was only a figurehead. Janus was pulling the strings all along. And by eliminating him, we will have neutralized the militia, once and for all.
However, for this subterfuge to work, you'll also need to deal with Janus's security detail. A Providence herald and former Secret Service agent by the name of Nolan Cassidy. Intel describes him as diligent and inquisitive, and we cannot risk that he contradicts our story to his employer.
Seems workable.
I certainly hope so. Everything depends on this next move, 47. You made this our fight. Now let's even the playing field.
Mission active. And we didn't get left to prepare or anything. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know, I was actually about to say, this feels weird. He's an old-ass man, all hunched over. Plaid shirt, pants too high, everything. He's even wearing a fucking boater hat. And I see from this picture, this clearer shot of his face, the guy's got one of those oxygen tubes under his nose. I mean, it sucks that he strangled 47 when he was a child, and that makes him a very bad person, but, like, this is a really old dude. Man! Okay, sorry about that. Let's see here. Target Janus. Janus was the KGB's legendary Cold War spy master and the first constant of Providence. Yes, I distinctly remember they mentioned him in hushed awe in the tutorial mission with Jasper Knight. Which is funny, because I was thinking of going there today and finishing off that last thing on the to-do list by launching him out of the escape pod, out of the, fuck me, I don't remember what it's called. The ejector seat. Yes, thank you, me. Janus' true origins is a mystery. That's not the proper grammar. Mainly because he had the records carefully erased, in brackets. Some say he was born in Belarus, the son of humble farmers, while others insist he is of communist royalty, the bastard son of Nikita Khrushchev. The variety of myths surrounding him only add to his legend. I don't like that we don't know his real name. Everyone agrees, however, that Janus was a master of deception and counterintelligence, perhaps the most gifted spy of the 20th century, and he performed his duties with zeal and commitment. During the Cold War, Janus headed the 6th Column Special Branch at Lubyanka, and remains the only KGB spy master to place sleeper agents in the top echelons of both Langley and MI6. In 1979, when the Soviet ambassador to the U.S. planned to defect to the West... Why did you back out of that? I did not push a button. Annoying. It was Janus who ingeniously ordered chessmaster Jasper Knight to poison the ambassador with ricin-coated chess pieces during a private match. Janus then orchestrated Knight's escape through communist Cuba, but in reality set him up for an assassination to cover up activities surrounding one of Janus's spy schools, which was taking root in the U.S. God damn! He played Soders as a sucker. Wow. However, Janus' career in global espionage was only the tip of the iceberg. After Brezhnev's ascent to power, they put the wrong word there, Janus came to view the Cold War as pointless. He knew that defecting was not going to be the solution. The Americans were just as narrow-minded and self-absorbed. The problem was politics itself. This is when he was approached by Providence, who offered an appealing alternative. An organization of enormous power and influence, but uninhibited by political, ideological, and national interests. A third way. Janus secretly became the first constant of Providence. He supervised Otto Wolfgang Ortmeyer's Institute for Human Betterment and met Subject 47 in his childhood. In 1988, he left the KGB after running afoul of the then administration. A year later, the Soviet Union collapsed. After the 1989 riots at the Institute, Janus is the one who forced Ortmeyer to submit the remaining subjects to a neural procedure known as the wipe, erasing their memories and emotions, effectively creating Agent 47 as we know him. Afterwards, Ortmeyer tried to get revenge on Janus and sent 47 after him, but the assassination failed. Providence considers him harmless, but the Constant still keeps a few heralds on Janus detail to make sure that no sensitive information leaks from the old man. Any method, any disguise. But, Nolan Cassidy. Nolan Cassidy is a Providence herald and answers to the Constant. Born into a military family, Nolan Cassidy grew up on and around military bases around the U.S. He enlisted at the age of 18, saw some action in Kosovo, and came out with several medals. He wanted to do more for his country, however, and joined the Secret Service's protective branch in 2000. My eyes lost sight of where I was supposed to be. Cassidy was on duty when... Oh, I think I might have done that. Cassidy was on duty when Vice President Daniel Morris was assassinated in 2005. I think that might have been the mission set at the White House, because literally the only thing I remember about it is that you're not there to kill the President of the United States. I think you can, but, I don't think that's why you're there. He was subsequently let go and went to work as a security consultant for the infamous Merino cartel, one of Providence's important South American assets. Here he made a favorable impression and was recruited as a herald for the southern U.S. and Latin America's territory. He adapted well to his new corporate life and excelled in a range of roles for over a decade. However, when the attacks on Providence began, the Constant assigned Cassidy to Janus's old security detail. That's not where the word old is in that paragraph, to Janus's security detail due to his background as a bodyguard. But babysitting, and here it comes, a bitter old spy in a spineless suburban environment is the last thing Cassidy wants, let alone being the butt of the old man's constant abuse. Oh boy. Nolan Cassidy is a soft-spoken, intense person, a stickler for the rules with an almost militaristic approach to discipline. He's only lost one man while on the job, and aims to keep it that way. Stoic and patient, he demands extreme discipline from his men. He takes his job very seriously. Too seriously, in fact, at least in the eyes of Janus. Since his recent arrival, he's beefed up security substantially, to the point where the residents of Whittleton Creek have begun to notice any method, any disguise. And finally, find clues. We need to locate the Constant, and Janus is our only lead. We have reason to believe the two are still in contact, but we need more information to achieve our goal. Confirm an existing connection between Janus and the Constant, and reveal a date they would meet. Find clues in and around Whittleton Creek to uncover the connection between Janus and Providence. Holy shit! Let's give this a shot. Starting location, and I only have the one, Whittleton Creek, fine. 47 has arrived in Whittleton Creek by bus, wearing his everyday clothes. Oops. Suburban suit. Honestly, it's a very slightly lighter shade of gray than 47's signature suit. One of the buttons is done up on the jacket, and he's wearing leather gloves, but otherwise, that's pretty much the signature suit. So hey, I'll go with that. I don't have the one with gloves. A true classic, this fitted 2-button black suit is tailored from a heavy-duty wool. Features a pure white shirt, leather gloves, and a crimson striped tie, I don't see the stripes, for a truly timeless look. Yeah, fine, we can keep that. Concealed weapon? There it is. I'm going to take the silver baller. Coin seems good. We'll also take the lockpick. Take the Mark II for funsies. Oh, I don't have a smuggle spot, so I can't bring anything else than this. So I'm going to look around, make sure there's nothing else I want more. Emetic pills would be useful. Sedative pills. One of these bombs, maybe. Oh, I was mistaken. The original proximity bomb doesn't have a little antenna sticking out of it. The Mark II does. So they're not identical. Other than the two, I mean. Right. Okay. Lockpick Mark II. Let me check the timer. It's been a lot of story stuff in this one. Huh. Just over a minute left. I don't love that. Look at the challenges then. The public enemy. Eliminate Janus and Nolan Cassidy with an SMG or an assault rifle. And he's dressed like an old-timey gangster, which is apparently the reward, the public enemy suit. That's funny. Oh, I see. Monster Cookie. Eliminate Janus with poisoned food. Huh. Eliminate Nolan Cassidy using the security system in the for-sale basement. There's a lot of weird shit in this game, man. Oops. Oh, fuck. I backed out so far I have to go back in, and I probably have to set everything the way it was. Yes. Another life. Yeah, fine. Alright. This is silly. I'll just call it, and we'll... Oh, no, it was tools. Yeah, there we go. I'm BurningDogFace, and I will see you on the next episode of How to Hit a Man, when we head off to Vermont and see what 47 does when he's placed in suburbia. I wonder if the fucking clown is in there this time. That's the other time I remember this happening. There was a clown involved. I'll see you then, Burning Dog fans. Wish me luck. Later.